Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist. All right, last but not least, we're doing the fixed signs. So fixed energy is earth energy, and cardinal is the decision, mutable is the discernment, fixed is the discipline. All right, the discipline, the determination, it's staying the course, right? Now, as a shadow aspect, that can be kind of rigid. But as a light aspect, which was what we talk about here, we like fixed energy, right? Because fixed energy is not all wishy-washy. It's not confusing, right? And when we're talking about divine energy, the Holy Trinity, it's the combination of all three. So somebody is making a decision. They've gone through the discernment, they've balanced their head and their heart, and now they're staying the course. So in a love reading, this is what you want, because fixed and earth energy is about investment. All right, it's about somebody who is going to be solid. Could be a Taurus, which is fixed earth energy. That is the most fixiest of the fixed signs, because we have the Hierophant here. But this is somebody who wants marriage. They want long-term connection. This is somebody who speaks truth. All right, we have the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, somebody wants to collaborate. This is in the feminine side here, but this is probably both of you. You both want the same thing, because also of the divine union, each element has its own factor, which is what we should look for as part of our determination of whether or not this is a divine connection or union. So we have for fire, we have chemistry. That's a pretty obvious one, and a lot of people will base an entire relationship and have children and get married and la 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 off of just chemistry. All right, chemistry is important, but there is more, right? Then for air, we have communication. All right, we know communication is key, right? Because as the other areas change, the chemistry is going to change. You're going to have off days. Compatibility is for earth, all right, which is what you want in life. All right, these are like core features of who you are and where you're going. Sometimes that changes as well, right? That's the least likely to change, all right, because usually the things that you want and the path that you're on, your core values, stay the same in your whole life, right? But if they are influenced by other people, growing up, society, lovers, experiences, whatever, those things can change, right? But I would argue that they don't change, just our actions and our thoughts and our words and everything align with our truth. So since we're centered around the idea of truth with compatibility and with earth energy in this reading, that's going to be the main one. And this is the main one a lot of people overlook, because you might have the banter, you can talk about a lot of things, you can talk about how different you are, and that can be very exciting and enticing. You obviously have the chemistry, and then water is the connection. I feel like you either have connection or you don't. Connection is that thing that you can't really describe. It's that need to just be around the person. It's that feeling like home, and you don't really know why, because it's just all felt. Now, a lot of people will mistake chemistry for connection, because they're like, I don't know why, I just feel it. No, you feel it in your loins, you feel it in your eyeballs, but you're not really feeling it in your heart space, which is what the connection and water energy is about. All right, so there's just a little rundown. Thinking of putting some of these main talking points in my bio. It is time for an update and overhaul. You could be overhauling something, you could be launching some sort of project, right? Fixed energy, earth energy, pentacles. It is about, it's about stability, it's about health, it's about wealth, But pentacles obviously can represent money in the 3D. So we could have somebody that's working on their finances, working on that stability. Queen of Swords and the Hermit could be dealing with a Virgo, could be dealing with a feminine air sign, or the feminine could just be in the energy of like holding down the fortress of solitude and waiting for truth. So somebody's speaking truth here. Somebody needs to speak truth here. Whether they will or not, we'll see. But I don't know why they wouldn't, because the truth is they see forever with you. They love you more than anybody they've ever felt. They love you more than anybody they've been with, and they feel, I was merging something. There's a merging here. Somebody wants to merge for life. These are cups. That's water. That's connection. This person feels connected. They might not be able to describe why, and which it could be the thing, because pentacle energy, earth energy, is the slowest moving energy. This could be taking a long time. That could be why the feminine is in that Queen of Swords, really holding it down, waiting for truth, waiting to be pursued, waiting to be made an offer, waiting to receive this truth. And it's like you both feel it, so you both know that it's there, but the masculine must alchemize it in the 3D, right? The Lovers, Gemini energy. All right. This is, I had to cover it up because people are sensitive about some just biological body parts, I guess. Especially cartoonized, animated body parts. Anyway, but this is uncovering all of that, right? The Lovers is going out of that attachment of the devil energy. There's no conditions here. This is an unconditional love. I love you for free, right? The movie Sleeping with Other People. So yeah, somebody has been through a lot of self-sabotage. There's anxious attachment, and then there's avoidant attachment. And you're healing that. And what that actually does, because those are the shadow aspects of individuals, the light aspects of anxious attachment is somebody who is dedicated, right? The anxious attachment person is somebody who's willing to invest. They just overly invest in those that are not investing back in them as a shadow. Ooh, that was a whistle. Maybe somebody can whistle here. But there's, with the avoidant attachment, nobody wants a more deep, meaningful, romantic relationship than an avoidant. They don't. Justice, Libra energy, a lot of air energy here. So there's a lot of communication about this love that's about to come in, right? And it's part of your karma. This love is your dharma, and the shadow aspects that you've been operating out of is your karma. So you had to balance those things. You had to bring those into alignment. All right, the Hanged Man. So yes, this is taking a while. Pisces energy. I always get my cousin Vinny with this because he's got the clock there, and it's like my biological clock is ticking like this. Somebody might be, I'm actually watching Bridget Jones's Baby, which I hate how dishonest she is. I hate storylines, and this happens in reality all the time, where people just don't say the thing that they need to say. And it's, I love you. I want forever with you. And it's like so much could have been avoided. And this feels like the feminine talking to the masculine. So much could have been avoided if you had just spoken your truth. Like, so this could be something where you've been apart for a long time, or this is a past life connection where it's like, can we just come together already? Like, my biological clock is running out. Like, maybe you want to build a family with this person, and you're like, you know, that might not be an option anymore. Somebody could have a child here, and it's like, we could have had that. If you, now we have to deal with this other karmic connection that you went and, you know, planted seeds with. And now like that's the karmic burden that we have to, not to say that children are a burden, but you will always be connected to the ex, to the other parent, right? And so if you have to deal with that, that is a karmic tether or burden you will have to deal with for the rest of your life, right? So yeah, there could be a little bit of like, it doesn't feel like resentment, but it is kind of like a, well, I wish things had been a little different. I wish we could have brought this together sooner. But everything happens for a reason. Because, you know, children are a huge component to healing, right? If you let them be, if you honor them as such. So the child, if there is a child involved here, or whatever karmic tether there is that you have to deal with, right? It's part of your dharma. It's part of this connection. It's part of your purpose. It's part of your path, because you would not have risen to your highest light aspect of yourself. You wouldn't have come into your divinity without that component, right? And a lot of people will tell you, like, they were going down a dark path, and the only reason they stopped going down that dark path and made the turnaround is because of a child, or because they were in a connection that was so bad and so toxic that they had no other choice but to like completely reform and change their life and go through that, get it together. So if there is any sort of like sneaky resentment about that, just sit with the knowledge that everything happens for a reason, and you would have never come together with this person if they had not gone through those experiences, if they had not strayed from your union for this long, whether that's in this life or past life. But there is an energy with that water energy of the Ten of Cups. There is a feeling like finally we can come together. So there's this like long wait, it feels like. With the Lovers, yeah, we have Scorpionic energy with the Death card. So yeah, it's like you would have never come into this union. You would have never been able to bear your souls. And I do, like, the feminine is looking up at this angel here. Like, they're kind of like, I mean, the masculine is only looking at the feminine. And the feminine's looking at the angels like, finally. Finally. There's a little bit of a like, why did this take so long? So that might be a little bit of a challenge in the beginning of this connection, or that could be what is sort of hindering this coming together, is because you have to welcome your person in with grace, which means you have to first have grace for yourself. Because if you're projecting like, why did it take you so long? Let's think about like all the things that you needed to heal from and you needed to do, and the work that you need to do on yourself. Because if they were not, for lack of better terms, if they weren't over there dicking around, you would not have been able to have the time allotted to really heal and do the excavation work on your soul, on your shadows that you needed to do, which is that death, right? You would never have been able to create if there wasn't this period of destruction. And that is all 13 energy. And guess what? 13 becomes a 4. 4 is the 1111. That is the divine union. That is twin flame, the twin flame number, right? Why do these keep falling down? Yeah, and there is something about like thinking small. The feminine thought very small of themselves. They looked at themselves as being like, they put themselves down. That was some sort of learned behavior or trait from childhood, probably. Some sort of overbearing. It's like you were the heir or the heiress to this ancestral karma that those before you didn't heal. Isn't that fun? That's what cycle breakers are here for, though. But because we have the Six of Wands, which is about that recognition, like this is your karma with Justice here. This is your karmic retribution. And it's like, it's the moment between karma and dharma. It's where you realize that everything that happened in the past, your childhood, your parents' childhood, their parents' childhood, like all of these cycles, these ancestral cycles, all led to this. They didn't get it right in love so that you could get it right in love. And oh, how right it's going to be. Yeah, there, Nine of Wands. Okay. I was like trying to put it back and it just kept flipping out because it's the Eight of Wands, which is, I'm sorry, the Nine of Wands, which is the, like the wounded warrior. It's the person who's been waiting a long time, the person who feels left out, forgotten. That's what this is. I feel forgotten. You know, I mean, you may have experienced this as a child where you were literally left somewhere, parents forgot about you, whatever. But that's how this love feels. It's left you feeling like, have I been forgotten? I've been doing this all on my own, Eight of Wands. But see, karma, justice, Libra energy. There could be a Libra around this connection, but like an ancestor or like some sort of like divine aspect. But justice represents karma. Right? It's the karmic balance. And when karma comes into balance, that is the point of dharma, right? That is when all things make sense. But the raven/crow is the Native American zodiac for Libra, and there's this message coming in from the universe. Your letter, you might actually be receiving some sort of letter or piece of mail or something that's allowing you to come into this connection. It could be like an appointment or a memo. I'm also seeing somebody could be like writing a note on a napkin. You might meet this person and they might write some kind of cutesy note. You know, check yes or no, George Strait, which is my birthday twin, May 18th. But there's like, so Taurus energy, but there's something about somebody might be asking. It could be through a text message because that's the world we live in, but I do feel like there's going to be some sort of message like, hey, do you, and it doesn't feel like some profound, it might be some long letter of like professing their love, but I feel like the profession of love is going to happen in person. And they want to get you alone. So I feel like there may be a letter or a text message or something that's like, hey, can we go do this tonight? Hey, are you open for dinner or whatever? Like it's like they want to get you alone. So if there are other parties around you, this person wants to get you alone, right? And they want to, with the lovers here, it's like they want to expose everything. And I feel like there's just like a relief. So feminines might be feeling this enormous relief. I have not been forgotten. Oh, God, you remembered me. And I feel like that's like something this feminine has been praying for, this love. And just like practical magic, I wished for you too. You both have been praying for the same love. It's just, if there's any dwelling on the past, also another country song, I thank God for unanswered prayers. Who is that? I feel like is that John Michael Montgomery? Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Damn. My throat chakra. I mean, I've had congestion in my near laryngitis, which I've struggled with my whole life as a Taurus, with the throat chakra being our ruler. If you know, you know. But I feel like that is a little nod that this person is struggling. Like, it's going to be hard for them to say this. Pregnancy, there is a lot about wanting to create pregnancy. So yeah, there might be, I mean, I'm watching Bridget Jones's Baby, so there might be something like, maybe somebody doesn't know the father of their child, right? Or you could be between, you could have a choice between two people with whom you want to create. And that could be a child, or that could be whatever you're going to be creating through this union. But the Four of Cups is someone who's waiting for the right co-creator. The wish card, Nine of Cups. Yeah, somebody's waiting. I wish for you too. Somebody is waiting for their actual wish to come in. And that's how they see you. masculine or feminine, you both see each other as your wish fulfillment. This is like it. You couldn't have created, and it's ironic because you did. You couldn't have created a more perfect person for you out of thin air, which is what you did with the throat chakra, mercurial energy, clarifying the Gemini there. I also feel like this person with the sacral chakra energy of Scorpio here, I feel like this sexual healing, darling. There's going to be a lot of healing in the sacral chakra, which is all about reproductive energy. So somebody may have struggled with that. I don't know in Bridget Jones if she like tried to have kids or thought she couldn't have kids, or she was just like waiting for a long time. Someone could have waited a long time. Maybe they didn't think they wanted children. Now they do because they met the person that they actually want to co-create with, and they've just never met anybody that they could see themselves co-creating with or procreating with, right? So it's like whatever dream, whatever their wish was, whether it was like a business or, you know, some sort of passion project, if it was an actual child, because passion and all of that creative energy comes from the sacral chakra. So it's like something deeply rooted in their sacral chakra, maybe part of their Saturn return, right? Someone could have strong Capricorn placements. And the challenge of the Capricorn is the work that you want to do, right? Your purpose is also going to be challenged by the devil energy, which is fear, doubt, attachments. So all of these things, like this dream never came to fruition because number one, you hadn't met yet in this incarnation. So you didn't think it was possible. And if you did meet, you were not on a divine frequency, so you're like, well, that's still not them. Close but no cigar, you know? Like maybe somebody was a smoker and they wanted to quit smoking. I don't know. Like something very simple like that. But maybe you were somebody who was like, I will never date a smoker. That's like a compatibility thing for you. I'll never date a smoker. And this person smoked. And you're just like, okay, well, they're cute. We've got chemistry. But we don't have compatibility. There is a connection there. I feel it. Like if you meet this person, if you have met this person in their terrestrial form, you may have been like, well, we're just not compatible. We're just not right. Our communication is off because somebody is withholding information. Somebody's blocked in the throat chakra because they don't think that they can even speak out what they want, what they've always wished for. There's a fear around alchemizing this truth, of alchemizing this reality with you. Or there was, but with these strong cards around water, all right, the sun in reverse. And yeah, it's like there's happiness. Somebody has been so unhappy. They didn't think that they even deserved happiness, I think. That's really sad. That's been part of their karma is deciding that they're worthy of happiness, that they want happiness. This is somebody who I can't even admit the things they want because they have never felt deserving of it because of a parental figure, I feel. And that makes me very angry. But anger is a tool for change. So Maiden of Pipes, there it is. Okay, Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about that inspiration, activating change, activating passion. I've got the magic stick. I believe 50 Cent is a Cancer. So Cancer placements could be important here. And oh my gosh, if you have Cancer placements, you know it is a struggle. Feelings that's all we do is feel. I'm a Cancer moon. Somebody could be a Cancer moon. Sailor moon. Someone could be a sailor. Or like, sailing takes me away to where I always heard it could be. It's like the Dream Drifter. Something about Drift Off to Dream. Another country song. Travis. Something like, might like country music. But Travis Tritt. Somebody's like, could be Travis. TT. Somebody could have like two T's. Double T, double I, double Gur, or whatever. Tigger. Bouncy. Somebody could have a lot of energy and just be very like friendly and all of that. But I'm also getting like they have like an Eeyore aspect, because with the Sun in reverse, they're like very unhappy, could have struggled with depression, because there's never any clarity around them. They couldn't see it clearly. Oh my gosh, I'm so congested. It's bugging me. I apologize. Thank you for listening and bearing with me through this phase of my healing journey, because I find it obnoxious. But yeah, Drift Off to Dream. Travis Tritt. Let's hold hands on the porch swing. Yeah, like somebody with that hermit energy, it's like somebody wants to just like sit with you, be with you. They just don't ever want to be apart, which is that water energy of feeling connected. They never want to be apart from you once you come together. You know, you may have had this phase apart from each other, and if you did, with that sense of like, this is my person, but if there's that feelings of unworthiness, so you're either sorting out these feelings of unworthiness before you come, if you're like, I've never met this person, I've never gotten this sensation in the 3D, I don't know where they are, it's because both of you have to sort this out. And if you're like, I've sorted it out, well, give grace to your person, because they're sorting it out, of those feelings of unworthiness. Or you may have met this person and you did not feel worthy of it, and if you don't feel worthy of it, you're not going to come into union. Now, with a lot of fixed signs, they're all in or all out. So a lot of times the universe will not bring you into connection with your person or into meeting your person in the 3D, because once you have it in your mind that that's not your person, it's very rare that you're going to go back on that, right? Which, if that's the case, then that energy will transmute itself and inhabit and raise the frequency of another terrestrial body, right? It's not about the terrestrial body. But because fixed signs can fixate, right? The universe might know that once you fixate on a terrestrial body, you're going to know that that's your person. So they're waiting until you're both ready and at the right frequency before they even introduce each other. There's like 4 different words coming together. Introduce you to each other. But the 7 of Cups, yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities with this love, but I feel like this is someone who's like, maybe not a player, but they've explored a lot of romantic connections to find you. So one of you could be more explorative. One of you might explore more. Dora the Explorer. Opening all the doors. And I feel like from the feminine with this 4 of Cups, one of you may be, you both could have strong water placements, right? One of you could be someone who's like in that fixed energy saying, no, I'm only keeping one door open and it's cracked, right? It's bare. You might not even like, if you walk by this door, if you're not my person, you're not even going to know that this is my door. It's so barely open. So someone's a little bit more guarded, and I think someone else is more like very open-hearted as far as like willing to such a like hopeless romantic that they're willing to get into another connection. So it's like a loveaholic, also with sleeping with other people. Yeah, one like is a player and the other one is fixated on one particular person, but she's still like hooked. She's like addicted, and I think she's a Capricorn and he's a Virgo. But I love that movie. I love that movie. So yeah, you could be friends first, you could be around each other and just not see each other as your person. That's too many, but that's compatibility. 10 of Pentacles. We have the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. I almost said 2 of Cups, but that is the union coming together. Again, somebody like, hey, you want to go out for drinks? And it might just be kind of mundane, because if you are friends or if you're co-workers or something like that, and you've just never both had your doors open at the same time, or if somebody had all their doors open with the 7 of Cups and the other person was like, no, I want someone who only wants to come in my door. Y'all dirty. But really, someone could be very selective about who they're going to allow in their body, or in their space, right? In their home, into their party. You may meet this person at a party, and then, or this person might invite you out to something that's like a very neutral space, but they're gonna like isolate you, right? Because it doesn't feel like it's gonna be an intimate offer, because they need to feel out and make sure that you're even open for that. But I feel like they're going to just ask you to like if you do our coworkers, it's like, hey, you want to go out on our lunch break, or hey, after work, you want to go grab some drinks or whatever. A few of us are going out, and then nobody else is there, and it's just you two, maybe. So there is a little bit of manipulation around this offer, but it's not insidious. It's not dark. It's not, I see a red door and I want to paint it black. Yeah, somebody's presenting like, and that's kind of like, I see a door. There's something about doorways. They're presenting the door as one thing. Like they could have a red door, but they actually want to paint it black. So it's like, oh yeah, let's just be friends, but they actually want more than friendship, right? Which is the common self-deception and manipulative tactic, whether, again, it's not malicious necessarily, it's just dishonest, right? And we're here for truth. So this is bringing that dishonesty to light, which is the sun in the upright is bringing clarity and illuminating whatever this is. So we've got sevens here. 77 could be important, but 7 of cups, 7 of wands. So yeah, it's like the offer, it feels veiled. It feels veiled in something platonic, or it feels veiled in something to where they can feel you out first. They might like invite other friends or other people, or be consulting with other people. Yeah, because there's 7 of wands, and this reminds me of the cover of The Little Mermaid, right? And the mermaid is the cups, right? It should be like the Queen of Cups, which is Cancer energy, right? So it's like somebody could be, which is the moon, right? So maybe your moonshine. Again, somebody may express this when they're intoxicated, or there's something about it that's dishonest. It's a truth, but it's veiled through dishonesty. So you'll have to share, if that makes sense to your situation, please share below. The Hierophant, there's that Taurus energy. But Ariel, she's a mermaid, but she presents herself with feet, which could be like somebody presenting out of earth energy or fixed energy, but they're really feeling all of this water energy. So there's something about somebody operating, or maybe they're operating out of their rising sign versus like the truth of them, which is your sun sign, because the sun is in reverse. So it's like somebody's not really operating out of their truth. The Hierophant is the revelation. Something about the book of Revelations. I mean, the Revelations talk about the end of times, right? Which is with the Scorpio over here, another fixed sign, which is the polarity sign to the Hierophant or Taurus. It's like the end of one thing. It's the duality of the ending becoming the beginning. It's raining. 2 of Wands. Do you want to create together? And yeah, this person might like offer work, right? They could be veiled through, and it's like getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to love you, or getting to like you, getting to know you like me. It's like this person wants to be sure. This person feels very funny. I mean, they might have a great sense of humor, and I feel like if they do, they're like, they want to be funny, or they want to make you laugh. They love your laugh, and so it's like they're putting in overtime. They might be working overtime just to be around you, right? if you are co-workers, because I am getting something with the Pentacle energy that there could be something, especially with the Two of Wands, there could be something about working together. And it's, again, it's like some sort of, it's like it's not a false approach, but it feels a little false. It feels a little, it's guarded. There's mixed emotions here with the Two of Wands. And I think the mixed emotions are like, I need to know the end of deception. Could be gossip or something. If it is at work, like, yeah, they don't want to make the work environment uncomfortable. If you're friends, maybe you are like have mutual friends, they don't want to make the friend group tense or uncomfortable if you're not open for something romantic. So there's some way that they're asking a question or they're presenting their offer to make sure, to ensure. Maybe somebody drinks Ensure, or somebody could be just, there could be something about Ensure. What is that? It's a dairy-based drink, so stop drinking that. But it's like a supplement. Yeah, it's like a supplement. There's some kind of supplemental energy. So somebody might be bringing in an outside party to like ask the question. Like go ask them if they would even, I don't know why I keep getting a smoker, maybe with the wands here, but it's like, go ask if they would even date a smoker or whatever, you know? Would they date someone with kids? Would they date someone who, with the Hermit? Would they date a Virgo? I don't know why that's funny. But this is Virgo energy and Pisces energy. So yeah, I do get a lot of mutable, because mutable energy is like that sun in reverse. They're not very clear. They have to be very sure before they make any moves. Things have to be just right. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Bears are also the Native American zodiac for Virgo. So yeah, someone could have Virgo placements, but they're operating out of that like fear. And this is how they're waiting. They're like over in the corner, like, go ask them if they would date someone who looks like Gollum. You know, like maybe they don't feel attractive enough. So I had a friend, a scorpionic friend, who used to ask, you know, would you rathers? It's like everyone. I mean, we were in the military together. And so they would ask everyone, you know, like, would you rathers? And I remember one of the questions they asked were, would you rather be with someone who is like has an ugly body but a nice face, or an ugly face but a nice body, you know, like so like I don't know, somebody might think like they're just not they might not think that you're attracted to them, or they're not your type. And you know, of course some people were like, well, I'd rather have someone with a nice face because they can always lose weight. And it's like, no, they're stuck with the body. You know, they can always get in shape. No, that's the body they have for the rest of their life. You know, would you rather have a nice face or a nice body, right? And there are like nuances to that, because it's like, was their body like misshapen? Maybe somebody has some kind of like defect or scoliosis, or I don't know, a hunchback or something. I was just watching the movie Antlers, which it's about a Wendigo, a Wendigo. But Wendigo, isn't that like or Fandango? Maybe this person's gonna like ask you to the movies. Maybe you like a lot of movies with the hermits. Maybe somebody's like, I don't know, would they even be interested in me? Like, I'm such a loser. All I do is like sit around and Netflix and chill by myself or something. You know, somebody might be quite introverted, because that is Virgo energy, and they might think, oh, they would never be with an introvert like me. But anyway, the Antlers, Gemini energy with the deer, Native American zodiac for Gemini. But they, in that the boy, the main character, he has OI. The initials are OI. Something about monarch butterflies. Because there is a parasite that someone could be like ashy, or you know what I'm getting is it's the pigmentation, where the melanin, the Michael Jackson, which he was a Virgo, is a Virgo. I think he's still out there on a deserted island somewhere. The XX, something about your ex could be significant here. But anyway, I'm going down my own rabbit hole there. Like, no, I'm very fixed. We done. This could be an ex coming back for some of you, though, if that's an area of interest for you, right? And they could be coming back totally different. But I feel like there's another avenue there that, like, somehow your ex, this person may know your ex, or, yeah, like, maybe your ex was, like, gorgeous physically, and they're like, oh my gosh, they would never be interested in me because that's the last person they dated. But remember, they're not with them anymore, so that's obviously not who they're compatible with. But yes, it's Ufria. Why can't I remember the pronunciation of this? Anyway, OI could be important. OA, someone sees you as an angel. I mean, we've got the angel peeking up over the hermit. Yeah, somebody's could be pedestalizing somebody, and they don't need to, because I feel like you're an incredible person. If this is you and you're in that energy of like, I don't know if I'm going to be good enough, well, you need to first of all give yourself the grace and come into that six of wands, that self-recognition and self-admiration. If you have a Leo placement, access that. Or if you have Leos around you, access that. Find that Leo energy because that's going to bring the sun into the upright. It's going to give you the confidence to come forward with this clarity and offer this clarity, and stop sabotaging yourself. This is like the end of self-sabotage and stabbing yourself in the back. There's self-deception there, right? So I'm going to watch your six. You could have people around you. My left eye just started twitching. Left eye, I seen a rainbow yesterday, but too many thought that coming all even a trace of that one God given right. Is it because my life is 10 shades of gray? Y'all tend to fade away, seldom graceful for the sunny days. I don't know, waterfalls could be important. That is Leo energy for me as well. I don't know what her sign was. Again, there's like something about these people who have passed on, so I feel like your ancestors are rooting for you, because there's like Michael Jackson, but yeah, the pigmentation, it's like somebody could have like some sort of what they consider like a deformity, or some sort of like disorder. They feel like diseased or something, and they're just like, I don't feel like this person would even look at me. They think they're so ugly, and it's like, I'm getting Twilight, which is ridiculous, but where he stands in the sunlight and sparkling, she's like, you're beautiful. He's like, this is the skin of a killer, Bella. Which, by the way, I have a theory that they got that from the Lost Boys, because the Lost Boys, the blood of the vampires in the Lost Boys is glittery. You can see it after they kill them. They're like the wooden stake, something about a vampire. Somebody is like very introverted. Like maybe they were with someone who was tan, and they're like, maybe you or your person is like very pale, and you're like, they would never be with me. But I do get somebody, it feels like very uncool. They're very, and I feel like your person does, like they are marveling at you and you don't even know it, or they're going to, when you bring this offer, it's like, oh my gosh, I've been in love with you all this time, or like, yes, you're my perfect person. You're like, really? But I thought you would only like this type of person, or I thought you would find me so hideous. And they're like, no, like, you know, maybe somebody very specifically, but somebody could have actually expressed that they love like a cleft lip, or they love like heterochromia, right? David Bowie, right? Maybe the name David Bowie. I don't know. The bow is Sagittarius energy, right? It's like there's something about your difference that makes you the most perfect, which that's also Practical Magic, where she wants the heterochromia, one green eye, one blue eye. And somebody could have been teased for that, which is absurd because I mean, I'm someone who likes that kind of stuff. So I think it's very cool. And like the hyperpigmentation, Joaquin Phoenix, Scorpio, the cleft lip, like people are totally into that stuff. Like everybody likes their own weird things. And I think that you are your person's perfection, the perfect weirdness. We got more Sagittarius energy here with Temperance. This is also about tempering the ego, tempering your fears, mastering your self-love and nurturing the self-restraint from practices, beliefs, thoughts, words, anything that's holding you back. This is conquering the devil. Also, the name Michael could be important here. Or maybe one of the archangels. You or your person could have like one of the archangel names. Maybe the angels numbers. Metatron is 1111, right? So, I mean, this is your twin flame, but like maybe one of the particular archangel numbers could be important here because we have victory. There's, again, just what I'm saying, 6 of Wands. You need to conquer your fears. That's what's going to bring this together. When you realize you're actually the victor here. The victor could be somebody's name. You're not the victim. All right? Because that's that 9 of Wands. It's feeling like the victim. Feeling like nothing goes your way. You've forgotten. Left out in the cold. You're not. You're not. King of Cups. Water sign energy on the masculine side. And there's that 2 of Pentacles again, thankfully. Because that came out before, but it was on a stack too big. Too much. This could also be a sign to keep it simple. And again, I feel like this person's going to come through with a very simple offer, or they might just ask you. It might be very short and sweet. This person is sweet. Maybe they're short, right? Maybe there's like a height difference and they're like, they would never be with someone my height. And it's like, maybe someone's really into like short kings or whatever, or maybe if you're a tall woman, you might be like, oh gosh, they would never want to be with me. And they're like, I'm getting Game of Thrones, the big woman, like he's obsessed with her. He's like creepily obsessed with her. Someone could be, someone could have, be a ginger, or it's like whatever thing about you that makes you feel like an ugly duckling. It's like, and maybe you have that ugly duckling syndrome, like you've grown into whatever feature you didn't like about yourself. Maybe you grew into your ears, or you grew into, maybe you were like tall and goofy looking and lanky and you got teased a lot, but then you like now look like a supermodel, but you're still like in the mindset of, I'm that goofy little ugly duckling. And this person sees you as a swan. So I don't know why I'm just like, get over yourself. Which is another, that's a Taurus right there. Jerry Springer. Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, maybe somebody like grew up very poor, because Jerry Springer is kind of like, trailer trash. It's very trashy. And so someone could have been like, felt like they were poor, white trash, poor trailer trash, whatever. Like they just came from poverty, and they're like, oh, this person is like, they're seeing you as a queen or a king, so they're just like, there's no way that they would want anything to do with a peasant like me. And it's like, you're not in that anymore. But in Jerry Seinfeld, in riding in cars, not riding in cars with boys, that's Pisces energy, Drew Barrymore. And I was just getting Virgo energy, which, so there's a polarity here. 2 sides of the same coin. You match each other. You're her match, Henry. The name Henry can be important, but Drew Barrymore in Ever After. You're her match, Henry. There's some sort of mentor. Somebody is like giving somebody, hopefully, the confidence. Like somebody, I feel, is just like, get over yourself. Like you're never going to know unless you do something. And they're just tired of hearing this person like talk about you. Like, do something about it. Because otherwise, you're just wasting everybody's time by talking about how much you love this person. Like, just go after it. So you can either, you'll never know until you know. And if you don't know, now you know, you know. But yeah, Jerry Seinfeld in Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Yeah, this person might just ask you to go get coffee. Like, let's just have a chat. They might like grab you coffee on the way to work. Drew Barrymore also, like, excuse me, he's just not that into you. You are my exception, right? You are this person's exception. This person never thought this could be someone that you just thought was like a player. They never wanted to settle down. They never wanted to get married, have kids, whatever it is that you've always wanted. So you just kind of put them in another zone of your life. They were in maybe the friend zone because you're like, we're just not compatible. We don't want the same things. Things have changed and they want what you want. Well, they want you. So, period, the end. Which is funny that it's like period, the end, because the end should have the period at the end of it. So it's almost like the end is the beginning. There is something about a choice here with two of wands, two of pentacles. There is something that represents a choice, because I'm also getting the movie endings and beginnings. Yeah, comedian. Somebody is funny here. But yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, he says if he were a therapist, he would just be like, get over it. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. Like, I feel like somebody's like slapping your person, like, snap out of it. It could be an ancestor, could be their spiritual team. There's some sort of like maybe tower moment. Or another person is just like looking around because they may be talking about you in front of other people. And they're just like, whoa, what? I don't like them. And the other people are looking around like, who's going to tell them? Who's going to tell them? Because they all see it so clearly. They're like, you're obviously infatuated with this person. You're obsessed with this person. You never shut up. All you do is talk about this person, which is great. But maybe you should say something to them instead of just us, because we can't do anything about it. Blind leading the blind. So I'm kidding. Judgment. Yes. You don't know. You don't know until you approach the pearly gates, right? Until you go up and ask to be judged. There is a risk. Anytime you approach love, like, this person may reject you. They may. I don't think they're going to, because you both wish for each other, and I think that they're waiting for this offer. I don't think that they, the Empress and the Four of Wands, I just don't think that they ever thought this offer would come from you. But that's the 11-11. This is your twin flame. So yeah, that's confirmation. You both want each other. The Tower and the Ten of Swords. End of deception. Somebody's telling you to get over yourself. Stop it. Stop putting yourself in a box. You're so much more than your height or your skin or whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, or like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel kind of annoyed because I'm just like, whatever you're worried about, and I get it. I get it, because I'm awful to myself. Like, the things I say to myself, I would never say to somebody I care about. So it's like, I have to catch myself a number of times, and I've had people be like, whoa. And if I hear anybody talk about themselves like that, I'm like, whoa, don't talk about my friend that way, you know? Because I just, but at the same time, I'm feeling like, snap out of it. Get over yourself. Like, it's so obvious to everybody. It's obvious to me reading this, and it's obvious to everybody around you that you two are each other's person. Like, you're meant to be together. Everybody else sees it. It's so freaking obvious. And they're like, why don't you just mockery? Ten of Wands. And I feel like this Ten of Wands mockery is like, somebody is putting on a front, like they're not fazed by this. Two of Swords. They're not wanting to make a decision. They're just like no, I'm good, I'm good. And everyone around them is like, oh yeah, you're good, all right. Like, you're spinning. I just feel like people around you are so, like, it's just funny. Yeah, Three of Cups. People around you are supporting this love and the sun in the upright. That makes me so excited. The sun in the upright. Okay, that keeps wanting to come out. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is also about confidence and independence, feeling stable, feeling secure, feeling like, like, if you go in with the energy that I will be fine on my own, I am fine on my own, I have everything I need, you're not going in with this desperation for this person. You're going in with the confidence and the assurance that this is my person. My Nine of Cups, my wish fulfillment, my Nine of Pentacles. This is my stability. This is my person. I'm not going to be unstable without them, but I'll be definitely a lot more stable with them. And I could bring stability to them as well. It's like also knowing what you have to offer. Because I think whatever you're saying about yourself, people are like, shut up. It's like when models are like, oh, I was ugly in school or whatever. And it's like, people are just like, come on. Knock it off. You're gorgeous. You're perfect. You're awesome. You're amazing. Like, this person just is particularly on the masculine side, because I feel like the feminine is over here just like, la, la, la. And the masculine's like, they see them as the Empress. They're sitting in that Empress energy. They're sitting in the Queen of Swords. They're very discerning. They're someone who speaks truth, and that's all they want. They want someone who comes in authentically, and based on your approach, if you bring in the sun energy, if you bring in truth and clarity, this feminine is gonna like gobble it up. Turkey. Someone's very silly here, because my mom used to call me Turkey when I was being silly, like, oh, they're such a turkey. That came from like her side, so it was like what the elders said as well. So this kind of like an old term for people who are being ridiculous. There could be an age difference, right? That could be the thing. Like, whatever it is what this person wants. And it's what they've always wanted is truth, clarity, authenticity. They wanted to be pursued by the person that is right for them. So you have to remember you are right for them, and approach them as such. And everything else will be fine. And worst case scenario, because we all have free will, if this person does reject you, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And if they reject you, that's not your person. They can, in the terrestrial form, that energy that you thought was in that terrestrial body will transmute and rise up in another individual. Because you're on this, if you're on the Emperor and the Empress frequency, the universe has like no choice. It's not that the universe doesn't just like pick and choose what it does. It's all energy. It's only a series of sequential frequencies. So it's like, So if you stay on that energy, if you stay on that frequency of the Emperor and the Empress, on that stay in your divinity, the universe will have no choice but to send you your person. So go in with that concept if you can. And everything will work out just fine. Whether it's with this terrestrial body that you're thinking that you have in your mind right now as I'm talking about it, or, and that's another thing, is get the terrestrial body out of your mind if you can, and just focus on the frequency. Just focus on the frequency of coming into union with your person. All right. I hope there was something in here for you. Thank you everybody for being here, for your time, your energy, your patience, your support. Everyone who has liked, shared, subscribed, donated. It's all so appreciated. It allows me to continue doing this work, and I love doing this work. So I hope that something resonated. If it did, please feel free to comment, clarify, claim it. That's the word I was looking for. Claim it. write it out, speak it out, and if you feel like called to comment below. Let's encourage this clarity. Let's encourage this love to come in, into the fixed energy, into the now, because we need it. We need this kind of love. We need 10 of cups. The world needs cups, cups, cups. So, all right, I'm done because I'll continue channeling. So I hope there was something in here for you. Until next time, I wish you well.